Hey mama, welcome to the Mosaic Mom Life podcast, where we help moms just like you discover your purpose and build a life you love. I'm Laura Stuffelbaum-Holt, a wife, mom, and career coach for stay-at-home moms who want to confidently transition back into the working world. See, we all have these random, seemingly scattered pieces of our lives that make up who we are. And especially as stay-at-home moms, it's tempting to see that as nothing more than a pile of junk that hasn't amounted to much of anything. But that's not how God sees it. He sees a beautiful mosaic. Each fractured piece of your life has a specific placement and purpose in His design. Romans 8:28 says that we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose. So, let's take Him at His word and confidently dive into the incredible mosaic mom life He is piecing together just for you. Here we go. Welcome back, mama. In the last episode, we talked about the first pillar in our mosaic mom life framework and how you can boost your confidence by understanding your unique personality. And there are so many incredible benefits for every area of your life simply by understanding and using that one tool. So if you have not already listened to that episode, be sure to go back and listen. It is my number one pillar for a reason. Today, we are tackling pillar number 2 and how we can boost our confidence by remembering our past experiences and accomplishments. And this one is so critical, mainly because it's so easy for us as moms to forget that we actually are good at things other than finding lost shoes in record time and stretching the grocery budget until everyone begs for mercy. We did have a pre-kids life. And most of us worked or learned or volunteered or somehow experienced life in ways that we just don't think about anymore. So this week, we are going to pause and think back. But before I send you off to comb the recesses of your mind for past experiences and accomplishments, let's chat a bit about why remembering is so vital for moms. How does something so simple as remembering actually boost our confidence as we pursue our mosaic mom lives? And I believe there are 3 big reasons why remembering is just so foundational for moms. Number 1, remembering builds our faith. We know that we can get through whatever this next piece of our mosaic mom life is because we got through all of these other things. We got through this hard season 10 years ago, and we will get through this hard season coming up because we've done it before. We have faith in ourselves, and we have faith that God's going to get us through. This is one of the biggest reasons that God tells the Israelites over and over and over again to remember His mighty works. Remember what I have done. Remember how I got you through the Red Sea. Remember how I brought you out of Egypt. If God has got us through this hard thing once, He can do it again. If God has gotten us through those rough spots in our previous work experiences before kids, He can get us through this hurdle of going back to work after being at home for a while. I love 1 Samuel 7:12, where it says, "Then Samuel took up a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen. He named it Ebenezer, saying, 'Thus far the Lord has helped me,' or 'Thus far the Lord has helped us.'" It's all about remembering that God has gotten us this far, and He's not going to let us go now. So, number 1, remembering all of those previous work experiences is going to build our faith. Remind us we can do this. It is possible, and God will get us through it. Number 2, reason why this is so important is that remembering gives us a starting point when we start feeling lost. it's really easy to go into a return to work piece of our Mosaic Mom life and say, okay, but there's so many different options. What am I supposed to do? Where do I start? So remembering your past experiences, remembering the things you were really good at back before kids is kind of like the "you are here" dot on that map at the mall. It's reminding us where we've been so we can figure out where we need to go next. We're taking a look back and saying, I was really good at this. I really enjoyed this. I love doing this kind of work. It's the same thing when we think about work experiences. We're talking about, how we forget how easy it was for us to handle these irate customers when we waitressed at Applebee's or whatever thing it was that you used to do for work that seemed so easy for you, but it seemed like a really big deal for everybody else. And everybody was always impressed that you were able to do it so easily. That's a big clue. I have worked for the last several years as a virtual assistant, and it's been great in a lot of different ways. But after doing it for so long, I've got really lost in the kind of worker I thought I needed to be in order to provide for my family. And in a whole host of events, I ended up cleaning a bazillion books in order to bring them back into our house after a mold remediation. And one of the books that I was cleaning was a book called Oxygen for the Swimmer that I had contributed a story to, goodness, back in the early 2000s probably. And it talked about how much I enjoyed teaching swimming as a teenager when I was not a super successful swimmer on the swim team. I had a whole host of pink ribbons that really didn't amount to much of anything. It meant, yay, you participated. And they just were this intense source of shame for me for a long time until I finally discovered that I'm a teacher. I may not be the fastest in a race, but I can teach kids to be fast in a race. I can teach them to do these things. And I love doing that. And so as I was rereading this story not that long ago, I was remembering that I have always been a teacher. Like, from my earliest memory, teaching is what I always loved to do. And in a virtual assistance role, I wasn't doing much teaching, if any at all. So I really wasn't being fulfilled because I wasn't teaching. And I probably would not have put that together so quickly had I not remembered that story. If I had not looked back and remembered, right, I've always been a teacher. Duh. This is why this has been so hard on me emotionally lately. It's time to switch things up. I need to get back to teaching. So here we are with the podcast. But remembering those past work experiences just helps us see clearly where we've feel fulfilled, where we didn't feel fulfilled, and what kind of work we have always been good at. It gets us back on track when we start feeling lost and overwhelmed by all those options out there. So if you're feeling lost and like there's just too many options to think about, follow the breadcrumbs back to where you felt alive and purposeful. Start there when you start thinking about looking for that next piece in your Mosaic Mom life. So that's number 2. Remembering gives us a starting point when we start feeling lost. Number 3, remembering gives us stories to share. We talked in that last episode about understanding the personalities, how it gives us a language to present ourselves well and talk about our strengths and our weaknesses confidently. Remembering our successful and our not so successful work experiences does the same thing. It gives us a language, and more importantly, it gives us stories to share when we talk about our work lives. Remembering old stories will also likely trigger new stories from your time at home that are also applicable to this whole going back to work season. It reminds us that, oh, right, my time at home has not been wasted. God does not waste anything. He has been using every single piece of your Mosaic mom life to take you exactly where He wants you to go next. So listen for His prompting on those stories that are going to be the most impactful for you, and then use those stories. Tell those stories in your cover letters, in your interviews. Even when you're just talking with people about the kind of work you'd like to do, having stories really helps us to connect with people in a way that's powerful. So, those are your 3 big whys. Why is remembering important? And if you are struggling to find the confidence you need to step into whatever it is that God has for you to do next in your Mosaic mom life, take some time this week. Think back. Remember the work you did before kids. What did you enjoy? What did you not enjoy? What did people tell you about the work that you did? What were they impressed by? What seemed easy for you that wasn't easy for anybody else around you? Then use those experiences to build your faith, to find your footing when you feel lost or overwhelmed. And let it give you the stories you need to share about the things that light you up. And as always, if you'd like a guide for this process, I would love to chat with you. You can snag a Clarity coaching call at scatteredwoman.com/clarity. And we can take time to dig through your past work experiences and stories together and get you headed in the right direction for that next step in your Mosaic mom life. You've got this, mama, and I am here cheering you on. Thanks for taking time to hang out with me today. I hope you'll continue to discover new pieces of your Mosaic mom life each week. Do you have a question you'd like me to tackle for you in an upcoming episode? If so, be sure to send me a quick voicemail message. I'd love to hear your voice for a change and know exactly how to be praying with and for you this week. Head over to scatteredwoman.com/voicemail to leave that message. Also, if you've got a quick minute between those never-ending snack requests from your kiddos, I'd love for you to leave a quick review on the Mosaic Mom Life page on Apple Podcasts. Those reviews really help other moms find the show, discover their purpose, and start building a life they'll love too. That's all for now. Be sure to check back next week for our next episode, and I'll be talking with you again soon.